Welcome everyone to question number 6, connect notes at same level. The topic tree in Geek for Geeks must do coding interview question. Have a quick look at the question. We'll be discussing the meaning and approach behind. Before that, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We have extra email IDs. Please do use them and support our channel. Now here in this question, we have given a tree. For example, we have on the screen here 10, 3, 5, 4, 1, 2. Okay. The question is saying in this example, we have to convert them into a flat type levels. The flat type levels, I mean, we have to convert the address to the right side. We have to shift the address to the right side and we have to connect the nodes. Okay, if there is no node on the right side, we will just simply give a none address here. Okay, that will be pointing towards none address, none value address. Okay, now here 3 will be pointing towards 5 and 5 will be pointing towards none again here. Similarly for 4 will be pointing towards 1 and 1 will be pointing towards 2. Okay, and this is the meaning of the question that we have to do. Okay, we have to convert the right side address of that to none. Similarly for 3 will be connected to 5 and 5 will be connected to none, 4 will be connected to 1 and 1 will be connected to. So this is the coding section part here, and I am discussing the code along with the explanation how it is working. I am not explaining how it is working at the start because it is a little bit complicated to understand. So if the coding part is also there while I am explaining, it will be very easier for you to understand. Now let us start with the explanation how the coding section is working. Now in this coding section, what we're going to do is we're going to take a queue and we will be storing the 10 inside that. Okay, we're storing the root node there, and after that we will be iterating at the size of length of queue. Okay, whatever size of queue is there, we will be iterating that many number of times, and while iterating we'll be storing the left and right child in that same queue. Okay, after that we'll be connecting the nodes to each other. Now let us see how we are connecting by following through this code. Now let us start from the beginning. If root is done, we simply return, then we are taking empty queue, then we are inserting queue with the root. Okay, let us assume queue as the variable queue and we're inserting the root node 10 here. Fine. Now if the length of the queue is not equal to 0, okay, only if queue is not empty, then only we proceed. But if it is queue is empty, then that means there is no root node here. Okay, that's why we're using this condition. Okay, now size equal to length of queue. This size will be used later for the iterations. Okay, now we are having one other variable previous equal to node 0. Doesn't matter what is the value inside this, we just want a pointer, a dummy pointer named previous. We will be using this dummy pointer in the for loop. Now coming to the for loop, now size is 1. For this 10 we have size 1. Okay, for the size 1 we are iterating and we are adding left and right elements after popping the value. After popping that value, we're storing it inside the temp here. Okay, this temp will having the address of 10. This will be having the address of 10, not the value 10. Okay, whatever I'm saying, it is related to address only in this example. Okay, for easier explanation, I'm mentioning 10 here. Now we adding temp dot left and temp dot right addresses also. So the queue will contain 3 and 5. Now 3 and 5 has been added. Now other condition is if previous is not equal to none. Previous is some value, dummy pointer, which is pointing towards some random value. That doesn't matter what it is. So now that dot next, okay, dot next right means the next address of previous should point towards the temporary value address. Temporary value was 10 in our case. So we are pointing the previous dot next right, previous dot next right, and we don't know what is previous, but I have written 0 here. You can assume 0 instead of x, but simplicity sake I'm taking x, so this will be pointing toward dot next right, point towards 10 value here. Okay, 10 value is pointing, this is fine. Now previous equal to temp here. Now this x value, it also has address. Okay, so now we are saying the address of this x value only, the address which we are pointing to x value, that will now point towards 10 now, not x. So 10 we have, and now previous is pointing towards 10. Now it doesn't matter what address it is or what value was there before. Previous is now pointing towards 10 now. After that the loop has been completed. This previous which was pointing towards 10, we immediately say previous dot next right. This is previous value, and dot next right. Next right is this one. This is the previous address which was pointing towards some value, but now it is pointing towards 10. This is previous dot next is the next address, and this will be pointing towards none now. In this way, we got 10 and none in the first level. Now coming to the second level, we'll be doing the same thing here. We have taken the second level now. Same thing happens here. Now the size of queue is 2 here. Now we have 3 and 5 elements inside the queue. Now pop the element. Temp will be having 3, queue will be having 5, 4 and 1. Okay, now these two elements have been added. After that, adding the elements previous dot next right. Okay, previous has been reinitialized to temporary node now. Now this previous dot next right. Okay, again x some value is there, so that will be pointing towards the temporary address. The temporary address is 3 in this case. Now previous, okay, whatever the node was pointing towards, now that node will be pointing towards 3 only here. The second line, this is 3 here, and whatever the previous address is, now this is our previous address. Okay, this previous address is pointing towards 3 now. Okay, now the first iteration in the second level has been completed. Now the size is 2, so one more iteration is there. Now temp will become 5 here. Temp will become address of 5, and queue will become 4, 1 and 2. We have added left and right elements, whatever the elements are present. Now following this condition, previous is not equal to none. Now clearly previous is pointing towards 3. Now it is not none here. We're saying previous dot next right should be equal to temp. So this is previous. Now we are saying previous dot next is 5 now, because temporary value has changed now. Earlier it was 3, but in this iteration temp is 5. So that dot next is 5. Now 3 is pointing towards 5. This is clear. Now we are replacing previous with temp address here. So previous was pointing towards 3 earlier. Now this previous will point towards 5 here. Okay. After coming out of the for loop, previous dot next, whatever that is, that will be none now. So in this way, 3, 5, none. This has been completed. This is the second level. Similarly, you can try the third level in the for loop here. For the third level, we have 4, 1, 2 as an example. This will be length of 3. There will be 3 iterations. You can practice on your own how the iterations are working. I hope you have understood the first level and second level explanation. With that, I hope you can clear the third level at example on your own. Okay. So third level will be 4, 1, 2, none. Okay, this is the value that will be formed. I hope you have understood the meaning of the question along with the code, how it is working. Okay. If you like the video, please give us a like. And if you have any extra email IDs, please do subscribe and support our channel. Thank you for watching till the end. Let's meet in another question.